statement here that says the orientation is the same. So, rotations, again, it's hard to have a clear definition, just as it was for translations, but we want to understand some properties about them, try to understand what they mean, and we'll describe them the best we can. When we rotate, we'll have a center of rotation, okay, kind of like the sun is the center of the Earth's rotation, right? The sun rotates around, I should say the Earth rotates around the sun, or the moon is the center of, I'm sorry, I said it wrong again. The Earth is the center of rotation for our moon, as the moon rotates around the Earth, okay? The same thing happens here. When we rotate figures, we have to have a point in which we rotate that figure around, okay? In this book, as it's saying right here, in this book, rotations are counterclockwise. In math, counterclockwise rotations are positive. So if I rotate this way, counter to the way the clock runs, okay, that's going to be a positive rotation. Where if I rotate this way, that would be a negative rotation, okay? So 90% or more, maybe 100% of what you're going to do in here is going to be just the positive rotations. It's going to be always counterclockwise. Okay? So in general, a rotation of x degrees is about a point r is a transformation which the following are true. So we're rotating x degrees around the point r. Okay? And so when we do that, the image of r is itself. So if r is our point of rotation, okay, so everything's rotating around r, then r won't move. Everything else will move around r, but r will stay still. Okay, if I took, can't see this on, can't see it on the recording, but I have a ruler here, we have a little hole on the end there, and so if this is my point of rotation, it's not moving as my ruler rotates around, is it? That point remains there. And that's what we're saying here. R, the point about which we're rotating everything, will not move in the rotation. So the image of R is still R. It's still the same point. Okay? And then for any other point, the distance from R, say some other point V, the distance from R to V prime, the image, is equal to the distance from R to V. So again, I have my ruler, and I'm holding on to this hole here. This is my point about which I'm rotating. And down here is 30 centimeters right here. So if this is V, then V is 30 centimeters from my point of rotation. Is that correct? When I rotate it over here and I get V prime, it's still 30 centimeters away from my point of rotation. So that distance from the point in which you're rotating to the point of rotation, the center of rotation, is not going to change no matter how far you rotate it. It'll always stay the same. Okay? All right. The busk is here. Let me back up just a little bit. Clean this back up. I want to hit save at the top. Now, here's an example of which we're rotating. We took figure PQRS. We're rotating it around or about, when they say about instead of around, but we're rotating this figure about. We're rotating this figure about point P, and it rotates over to here. So if Q is we'll say this distance is 20 inches, then how long is this distance gonna be? 20 inches. Okay? If this distance here is 31 inches, then this distance here is going to be 31 inches. Okay? So every point that we rotate about that point of rotate, that center of rotation, will always be equal distance to the original. Okay? And then that second example says for any point V, so this distance here is going to equal this distance here as I rotate V. And this angle between these two, the angle between these two is going to be whatever x is. If you're told to rotate it 50 degrees, then x is going to be 50 degrees. This angle has to be 50 degrees. Okay? All right, let me... so you finish copying. As long as we're waiting for people to clean this up, that last statement I said the orientation is same. Let's look at this. We say PQ RS. We're going clockwise, aren't we? When we come over here, P, Q prime, R prime, S prime is still clockwise. So when you perform a rotation, the orientation won't change. Okay, nothing flips over. Okay? So orientation will remain the same. Alright, yeah.
I have a question for like the top image. Like it's the same image just flipped over, but why are the letters out of place?
They're not. Let me see if I can.
Because Q and S.
Once again, I did not press play, so unfortunately we didn't copy that. But the assignment is. Oh my goodness, come on, start writing. The assignment is 4 through 24. Why?
I was just here yesterday.